You're getting started in the house cleaning business and you have so many questions and you don't know where to start. What do you do? We're going to talk about that today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question and I get to help you find an answer. Now today's show is brought to us by mycleaningconnection.com. And I want you to love this website as much as I do because we keep dumping all different kinds of resources and information and blogs and videos and different how-to tips and different house cleaning helpers, people that have been in the industry for years who have new ideas and tips and strategies. And there are all different kinds of products and uniforms and information that you can use either to clean your house yourself, or if you're an Airbnb or a VRBR host, or if you are a professional house cleaner. So if you fit into any of the realms of you clean houses, this is a website for you, mycleaningconnection.com. All right, on to today's question, which is from Justina, who asks this.
Hello, Miss Justina is my name. Actually interested in starting my own cleaning business. It's something that I love to do, but I don't know how. One thing that I know is that I'm ordering some t-shirts with some logos, yeah, with the company's name. I have not even chosen any company's name, but I just think I will come up with something, yeah. And one thing that I know also that I'm sharing some flyers and then some business cards, and I'll be dropping them in letter boxes. And I just want to know what else can I do apart from the t-shirt that I'm going to wear to advertise, apart from the flyer that I'll be sharing. What else can I do in order to start good? I want to start good. I want to have at least 5, 6 customers a day. Yes, I know of that's car magnets, but I don't have money now because I don't even know how much it costs. Is there any possibility for you to help me start this business? And secondly, I want to know like the product, the basic product that you use in cleaning the kitchen, the bathroom, and the hall and the floor. If you can actually give me some basic names that because I'm new to everything products.
All right, hi Justina. That is a lot of questions, and so I will try to answer them one by one. First of all, if you are starting a house cleaning business and it sounds like you're really excited, I don't ever want you to lose the enthusiasm and the excitement that you have right now that you are experiencing and expressing for your business. I want you to wake up every day and feel the same kind of enthusiasm, like, hey, I get to start a house cleaning business. This is so cool. And you will always have questions. So no question is a dumb question. Keep asking them because every day you will have questions from here through infinity. And as soon as you have an answer to a question, it will make you think of something else. And you may go down a little rabbit hole, but it will be a different question for a different element of your business. So keep asking questions. All right, as far as getting started, you mentioned you want to get some t-shirts printed, but you don't have a business name yet and you don't have a logo. So my suggestion is that you do not print any t-shirts until you have a logo and a business name, because we don't want to keep reprinting them to brand or rebrand whatever it is you're creating. So if you're just starting out and you're one person, I would consider calling your company Justina's Cleaning. That says your name and it says what you do. And then as your business grows and as you expand and as you do a little bit of research about what your company name can be, then I would choose a company name. And only then, after you've registered it and you've decided that's going to be your company name and you're 100% sure on it, would I print that in a logo and on t-shirts. All right, the next thing that I want you to do, you talk about flyers and business cards. I would not print flyers or business cards until you have a company name. And if Justina's Cleaning is what you're going to go with, I would print your flyers and wait on the business cards. Okay, the next thing that I would recommend is I have a book that I wrote. It's called How to Start Your Own House Cleaning Company. And I would recommend that you pick up a copy of this. Now this is a $9 if you purchase it $9.97 or something, if you purchase it on Amazon. But I am so convinced that you should read this book that I've made the copy available for you free as an ebook that you can download on Amazon. You can read it on any device with the free Kindle app. So you don't have to pay the money. I'm not here to get rich off of you, but I do want you to read the information that's inside. Here's the reason why. Inside, I take you from step A all the way through to step Z for setting up your house cleaning company. Now, I just opened this up randomly and it's how to set up your home office. What we're going to cover in this section is on what do you need? Is it a printer? Is it a tablet? Is it a laptop? What do you need in order for you to access the online information that's available to you. So that's just one page. What office supplies do you need? Do you need paper? Do you need staples? Do you need Post-it notes? What do you need in order to run a business? So we cover that in here as well. The next thing, choosing a company logo. What do you need to know about choosing a company logo, especially if you're just starting out? And it will talk about things like trademarks. And should you trademark or should you just use a fancy picture to start out with? There is one thing I do recommend, and that is please do not steal someone else's logo, because it's probably registered and trademarked. And if you go down a branding hallway where you start printing it on t-shirts and such, and then you find out that logo belongs to someone else, and they send you a cease and desist letter, now you have an issue where you have to rebrand your company, and you've got to stop using the t-shirts that you just paid for, and you've got to go have new ones printed. So please read this, because there's a bunch of helpful information in there. Here's another one on how to pick a name for your company. And we talk about the URL. When you brand your business, you want to make sure that the name of your company matches the URL. That's when you do the HTTPS and the colon and the forward slash and the forward slash, that's what comes next. It is yourcompanyname.com. And the reason you want to do that is because then it helps you in the search engine optimization, so you're not paying so much money in advertising costs, because your marketing is working for you. I don't know if that makes any sense yet. It doesn't matter if it does. It will make sense later. But you said you have no money as you're starting out. So it's really important that you work smart, not hard, because we don't want to spend money that you don't have only to turn around and spend it again, rebranding your business. All right, here's one. Should you wear a company uniform? The short answer is absolutely. Now, the uniform that I'm wearing right now is my house cleaning uniform. And you'll notice it does not have a company logo on it, right? You can create a company uniform with no company logo. And there are times I actually recommend that. And that is if you are doing a mix of house cleaning and commercial cleaning, and you have independent contractors, or you have employees. Because your independent contractors can choose to wear a similar color to what you're wearing without ever wearing your company branded logo and information, right? So there are ways around that where they can look like they fit in with your company of their own choosing, because it's just a color. Nobody registers and trademarks colors, right? So there are things to be said about that as well. Here's one on your company image. We talk about what your car should look like when you're parked out in front of a neighbor's house. The reason we do that is this. There are people that drive by every day, and if they see a car in the neighborhood and you are the house cleaner, if your car is tidy and immaculate, that's a reflection of your brand. And so you want to make sure that you have a car wash package where you can run through the car wash a couple of times a week to make sure that your image is up to par with the services that you're selling. Okay, moving on. What else have we got here in this book? Because it's got some really fun stuff. Choosing a territory. Did you know if you buy a franchise or you buy into a franchise, you are assigned a territory? There are only certain things that you are allowed to do in a certain window or a certain area of space. But as an independent, you can go wherever you want and you can create a territory that's close to where you live. I know franchise owners that their ownership of the area that they are allowed to clean in is 400 miles from where they live. Can you imagine running a business 400 miles away? It's crazy. But if you're an independent contractor or an independent cleaner, you can clean in whatever area you want, right? There's no territory. So how to choose one, that's also in this book. Here's one on should you run flyers. Now, if you'll search YouTube, we just did a 2018 version update of the flyers where we removed the logo and we added in a QR code so somebody could scan it and go right to your website for social proof. So that was a new addition that we made. And we have flyers that you can download that are links in that video. So search for that on YouTube. Should you run flyers? Yes, they still work. All right, what's another one in here? Oh, worksheets. Yes, I'm a huge fan of worksheets. And I tell you why I'm a huge fan of the worksheets, because your worksheet is your number one marketing material. It is your invoice. It is your receipt. It checks a list of everything that you do. So it's a sales piece for you. It has all your contact information at the top, which is what you will use instead of a business card while you're getting started. Also, your customers will pass this around the neighborhood to their friends that can also hire you. It is also what activates your satisfaction guarantee. So we talk all about worksheets and how to get worksheets. They're downloadable links and everything on the free version online. In the book, you have to type in the link. Let's see what else is in here. How to bid a job. Should you bid by the hour or bid by the job? Now, you scared me a little bit when you said you want to do 5 or 6 houses a day, because as a solo operator, that is very unrealistic. 2 or 3 is about the max that you're going to be able to do, especially starting out, because we don't want to zip through a house and be sloppy. We want to be extremely careful about the work that we do so that we get referrals and we get hired back. It doesn't make any sense at all to have customers where we're doing 5 or 6 a day and we're focusing on the volume and not the quality, because it's going to be a wheel churn. You're going to get fired and hired so quickly, but it's going to be a constant effort of doing the job and the walkthrough and the estimate and all those things over and over and over and over again, instead of having repeat customers because you were so fast you didn't do a good job. So I really want you to focus on the quality of work, because we're trying to build a business based on referrals. All right, a couple of other things. And there are a bunch of hints and tips and things in here. There's a section in here on confidence builders, which is really important, because if you're just starting a business, it doesn't matter what the business is, but if you're just starting a business, you're not going to be 100% sure of yourself. And so I need, when you show up at a customer's house to do an estimate, I need you to show up like you are the king of the world and you know exactly what you're talking about, so that you can project that to your customer and they will hire you with confidence. And if you do not have that confidence and you're a little bit shaky on it, there are some things in here that will help you boost your confidence so that when you show up to a customer's house, you can nail that sale. All right, let's see what else is in here. Bonding and insurance. Yes, one of my favorite topics. You may be a solo house cleaner, but I recommend that you are bonded and insured. That means that if something is stolen or something goes missing or you are accused of stealing something, that you have bonding in place. It doesn't replace anything, and they have to prove that you stole it. And if you are found that you stole it, and we know you're not going to steal anything, but as your business grows, there are employees that you have that will also want to have bonded and insured. The bonding is this. If a customer asks you, are you bonded and insured? And you say, no, I'm a solo house cleaner. I don't need bonding because I'm honest and I'm not going to steal anything. Already you're a game behind, because you're going to have to stop and spend a lot of time and energy explaining why you're not bonded, rather than just adding that small rider into your insurance policy. It's easier to say, yes, I'm bonded and insured, and be able to prove with a policy number that that's true, than it is to jump through all these hoops of why you skipped that step. So, fair and simple. And then the next part is insurance. You asked me, what cleaning chemicals should I use? Now, I'm not going to go through that in the book, okay? There's a brief checklist in the book of things you need, like dishwashing soap, and a powder cleanser, and a degreaser, and an all-purpose cleaner, and a glass cleaner, and some sponges, and a razor, and a screwdriver. There are some basic things that you need in order to run your business. And I do not go into the specifics of it here, but we have a program called Savvy Cleaner Training, where we have 192 videos that walk you through every step. Here's what you use when you clean a bathtub, and here's how to clean the bathtub. Here's how to clean the corners of the rooms that you're in. Here's how to do overhead dusting. Here's how to clean cobwebs. Here's how to clean window ledges. We cover everything, okay? So there's a whole entire intensive training program where you can be certified to do that. And I recommend that you go through that program. The reason I'm so emphatic about it is this. There's no standard in the industry. And even if you're insured, if you go into someone's house and you use the wrong cleaning chemicals, you could ruin their stainless steel refrigerator, or you could ruin their granite counter or their hardwood floors. And now you're talking about $2,500 for a new stainless steel fridge, or $30,000 for a new hardwood floor. I mean, some stuff gets really expensive when you get in homes and you're mixing and messing with chemicals. So there's a whole training program on how to do it right. I am not trying to scare you, but you do want to be insured for that very reason. I cannot tell you how many stories I've heard of house cleaners who did not have proper information and proper training that went inside somebody's home and they damaged stuff beyond repair. And then they have to replace it and they're wondering like, well, why should I have to pay for it? I was just here to clean. Yeah, you're there to clean, but that's why you have insurance. It covers you and it covers the homeowner. All right, there are a bunch of other things in this book, like how do you get referrals, okay? So it's a really great book. Again, you can download it absolutely free of charge. I will put links in the show notes. The reason I want you to have this is because there's a bunch of stuff it's going to drag you down those other rabbit holes, okay? It's going to make you think of other questions in your mind. Then when you come back with different questions, not just a whole bunch of general questions, but specific questions about specific things, and we can help you find answers. Also, I should tell you, not bragging, but I should tell you that we have over 465 videos in the Ask a House Cleaner series that is on YouTube. It is also on all of your favorite podcast apps. So as you're cleaning, you can listen to them every single day in your car. We produce this show 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. And they're 5 to 10 minute shows. They're very short, but there's a bunch of information and we hit a lot of different topics. So if you have questions, call into the show or write into the show. If you go to AskaHouseCleaner.com, there's a little button there. You just click on the button and you can send your question into the show. If, just like you did right now, Justina, but if you'd rather email Angela@AskaHouseCleaner.com and I will get your email. And those are also funneled to me here at the show so that we can pick the ones that are most appropriate for the topics that we're covering that day. So please stay in touch with us and let us know how we can help you, because we are super passionate about house cleaning. And I say we, meaning me and my entire production team. The folks on my team know more about house cleaning than most of us will ever know in a lifetime. So there's a team of people here and we are here to help you. Okay, so that is my 2 cents for today. Keep your enthusiasm, because you're going to need this every single day when you wake up and you've had a really tough day and a tough customer. You're going to wake up and go, oh, remind me, why am I doing this? And then you're going to go, oh yeah, because I want to be my own boss. And you're going to remind yourself of this enthusiasm that you have right now. So keep that with you always. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.